The Dazzle podcast is brought to you by the Dazzle Cleaning Company, the gayest cleaning company in America. But don't worry, you don't have to be part of the LGBTQIA community to hire or to work at Dazzle. I'm Logan, the founder of the Dazzle Cleaning Company. Welcome to the Dazzle podcast. Each podcast will either be labeled as a client podcast or as an employee podcast. And the only point of the podcast is to get you information in the way you want it. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so today's episode is 3 keys to finding your dream custom cleaning service. All right, so number 1, choose a reputable company. This is made much easier by the proliferation of online platforms that have great verified reviews like Google, Yelp, Better Business Bureau. There's a ton of them. So make sure that you're choosing a place where the reviews are verified. Facebook doesn't really verify reviews, so I would not look there. Once you find a company, you'll want to get some quotes. And the second key is you want to know exactly what the cleaning service is going to do during your custom cleaning service. So I've been doing this since 2014, about 10 years. And because I own a cleaning company, when I meet new people, they always want to either talk about how, oh my God, I can never come over to their house because it's not clean enough. All right. Or they want to ask me how to clean something, or they want to tell me their horror stories of cleaning services, or sometimes about how much they love the cleaning company. Usually that's not the case, though. It's usually some kind of horror story. And what all of these stories have in common is that there was some kind of a miscommunication between what the client thought was going to be cleaned and what the company thought was going to be cleaned. So you want to have the perfect crystal clear alignment. The company thinks that the exact same things are going to be cleaned that you, the client, think are going to be cleaned. Okay, so how do we do this at Dazzle? We have a special product called a You Design the Clean, which is our custom cleaning package. This is an hourly service, and you choose how many hours you want us to be there for. So you could do it one time or you could do it recurring. So for example, I live in a big house and it's like 4,000 square feet. But we don't need the whole 4,000 square feet cleaned every 2 weeks. Because I live with 2 of my friends. My mom's living with us right now. And so there's 4 bathrooms. My company doesn't need to clean all their bathrooms every week, though sometimes we do. But what we really want to have cleaned every week is the main floor where there's like a shared bathroom and living room, kitchen, dining room, entryway, that kind of stuff. I like to have that done every week. So we have a special service. Every Wednesday, the Dazzle cleaners come to my house and they clean that main floor. So it's a custom service. Okay, so you tell us how many hours you want, and then you tell us what rooms you want to have cleaned. So in my house, for my service, we have them clean the stairs from the top floor to the main floor and the stairs from the main floor to the bottom floor, because stairs get dirty really easily. And then everything on the main floor except for a guest room that we have there. So they clean the bathroom, the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, the entryway, and the hallway, and the laundry room. And they do that every time they're there. So then the next thing is at Dazzle, we have 2 different levels of cleaning for regular recurring service. We have our premium cleaning, which is what people typically expect when you're cleaning your home, when they're hiring someone to clean their home. And that's what I'm lucky and happy enough to have Dazzle clean at my house every week. But we also have our express clean, which is just a very pared down version of our cleaning. So this is great for people who are wanting to really limit the budget that they're spending on a cleaning service, or for people that just really like to clean, like Terry, my brother, who runs Dazzle. Terry's a complete neat freak. He loves cleaning. And so he doesn't need people to be like doing a big clean for him. But every once in a while, he does like it when they do an express clean, because then we are cleaning the tubs, toilets, scrubbing the floors. And those are things that most people really appreciate having done. So an express clean is just tubs, toilets, sinks, showers, counters, mirrors, floors, faucets, inside of the microwave, the top of the stove top, and taking out trash, recycling, and compost. So super limited service. And of course, a much more affordable service. So if you're looking for a budget cleaning, that's a really great way to do it. Again, the way that we set up a custom service at Dazzle is you tell us how many hours you want, you tell us what rooms you want cleaned, and you tell us you want them either at the premium cleaning standard or at the express cleaning standard. And then sometimes what happens is people will say, I want to have you guys come out for 2 hours and I want to have my bathrooms cleaned and my kitchen cleaned, and I want it to be the premium, and I'd like you to clean out the inside of the refrigerator as well. And then we say, we're not going to be able to do that in 2 hours. So if you want, we can add some time, or we can get like this far down on your list. So we give you like a really accurate understanding. And then of course, if you have more time, we'll continue on down that list. But we really help you understand what's going to be cleaned. All right. And now let's do Snappy News. And when we come back from Snappy News, we'll talk about pricing. And now it's time for this week's Snappy News. The Onion reports that Harrison Butker insists he won't let politics distract from upcoming race war. Reported from Kansas City, Missouri. Quieting doubts from supporters that he wasn't focused enough on getting a win on board for the Aryan people, NFL place kicker Harrison Butker insisted on Tuesday that he wouldn't let politics distract him from the upcoming race war. Quote, I feel obligated to push back when someone audaciously suggests women shouldn't be relegated to the role of silent breeding machines, but I'm still fully committed to ensuring the white race reigns supreme once the blood has dried, Butker said while tightening his wife's corset and suggesting a few finishing touches on her makeup routine to emphasize her more Caucasian features. Quote, I know a lot of people want me to just shut up and prepare my torches for battle against the impure races, but I won't back down from leering at sluts and chastising whores to set a good example for young men and women. Let me state one more time so there's no confusion about where my priorities are. When the white race wins, we all win. At press time, Butker's wife admitted her girdle no longer fit because she was pregnant with Colin Kaepernick's child. Ooh. And so when this podcast comes out on Thursday, I believe we will be 14 days away from the election. If you are an undecided voter, that is okay. We are really excited to have the state of this country be decided by the low information voters out there. But it's no problem. Just go ahead, cast a ballot for Kamala Harris, and move on with your day. Make sure to get those ballots in. Oh, and now back to our topic of the three keys to setting up a custom cleaning service that you'll love. Okay, so finally, you want to settle on a price that you are comfortable with, especially if it's a recurring service. If it feels like a stretch for you and it's a one-time cleaning, okay, maybe. But if it's like something that's going to be every week or every 2 weeks, choose something that works for you, because otherwise you'll be frustrated and you'll think that maybe you're not getting the value that you were hoping for, or you'll cancel a lot, which depending on the cleaning service you're with, they might charge you fees, or they might just, there's all kinds of things cleaning companies do when you cancel a lot. Particularly if it's a small cleaning company, because it really screws with their schedule. So they're really like trying to make sure that their employees are all having full schedules. And so their people are really trying to, what they'll basically end up doing is just prioritizing their clients who aren't canceling all the time. And so your service isn't going to be as good. They'll send people that maybe don't have as good of training, blah, blah, blah. If you're with a bigger cleaning company, that's probably not as much of an issue, because bigger cleaning companies, we just tend to have more resources available to handle that kind of thing. Plus, it's a lot different if you have like 3 clients on a schedule in a day versus if you have 50 on the schedule for a day. You can absorb a cancellation a little bit easier. Nonetheless, you want to settle on a price that's comfortable with you. So get a couple of quotes, compare what's included and what the price is for what's included. And then finally, if you know the company that you want to go with, but the price is just like a little bit out of your range, then what I would suggest is sending an email to the cleaning company, let them know that, and see if there's anything they can do for you, because they might be able to say, oh yeah, we can just skip this bathroom or not do the kids' bedrooms or something, and we can get you to this price that you're hoping to get to. So everything communication. And also don't feel awkward talking about price, because if we're a business and our people that are answering phones, answering emails, we talk about price all day long. And I know that it can feel a little uncomfortable for people, but some people don't have any qualms about it, but other people do. But you can just say, I really am trying to keep my budget to whatever, $150 every 2 weeks or whatever it is. And I know at Dazzle, we would absolutely say, okay, here's what we can do for you. And I think that most cleaning companies work that way. All right. And we have a new segment this week. And so we're going to go to Grime and Punishment. This is Grime and Punishment, where we dish on all the ways you can drive your cleaning company absolutely bananas. Okay, I'm not sure if it's included in the intro there. I need to listen to that again. But Grime and Punishment, where we tell you things you can do to really get on the shit list of your cleaning company. And there really are so many stories that I have after been doing this for 10 years. But the ones that come to mind, kind of top of mind first, are ones that have to do with either something inappropriate sexually, and I didn't want to start with that because, come on, we're a family business here, though I will definitely talk about that at some point. But I decided I'll just cut it down a little bit. But I will tell you about when people were being naked and they probably shouldn't have been. Okay, so I just started Dazzle, just like I was doing all the cleaning at this point. And so I get to this house, it's in Bothell or something, which if you're not from Seattle, this is a little suburb north of the city. And it's like really just so desperate housewivesy looking, like everybody's so normal and whatever. And this woman meets me at the front door, and I go in, and she's showing me around the kitchen and the living room and the dining room. And she offers me a cup of coffee. And I was like, no, that's okay. And she offers it to me again. And I was like, oh, no, that's okay. She offers it to me again. And I was like, okay, you know what? I will actually have a cup of coffee. She gets me a cup of coffee. We're like laughing and joking. She does seem a little weird. And then she's like, I'm going to show you upstairs. So I follow her up the stairs, and we go into the primary bedroom, which for those of you who are like, primary bedroom, that's what we call the master bedroom now. We don't say master bedroom or master bathroom anymore, because if you think about that, you think, oh, that probably didn't come from a very good lineage, if that's the word for a word. But it's no good. We don't say that. So now we say primary. So we go into the primary bedroom, and the primary bedroom opens up to the primary bathroom, and her husband is completely naked right there. And I'm like mortified, and he is clearly mortified. I don't know who was more mortified. And she was acting like this was, no big deal. But I suspected that she knew that it was inappropriate, because I'm obviously gay. And this was like 10 years ago. And people were even more homophobic. But you don't have to be homophobic to not be happy or excited to have a gay man standing in your bedroom when you're naked first thing in the morning. It was so awkward. And then I just hightailed it out of there. And she got in a little fight with him. He was like, why did you, what? It was like, we have people. And she was like, he's a man. He's what? So I was just back down the stairs at that point, and I thought, wow, that was, did not care for it. Now we have another story. And this was a cleaner, an employee came into the office and talked to you. There was a client who got back from the gym, came home, and took all of his clothes off in the primary bedroom, and then went into the primary bathroom naked as my cleaner was cleaning it. And so then, of course, he like leaves and whatever. And then the cleaner tells me about it. And I was like, what? And okay, yeah, I'm just like, of course, I apologize. Yeah, that's so inappropriate. Thank you for telling me that. And so I called the client to fire the client. And I wondered if I was thinking, is there a way he's a man? Maybe he's thinking he's just not getting it. There's something inappropriate about it. But then I called him, and I was explaining, I'm not going to send cleaners to his house anymore. And sorry, maybe it was a misunderstanding, but we just can't do that. And he went into this whole thing about how he's a guy, I'm a guy. And it was like, but yeah, if you're like at a gym or something, like a place where people are expecting you to be naked, that's maybe one thing. Or that's definitely one thing. People can be naked in a locker room. It's not a locker room. This person's job is here and it's your house. And it was just so weird. Like you didn't need to do it that way. You could have said, hey, I'm going to go in here and take a shower. So I thought the whole thing was silly. And so we didn't do that and we got rid of them. And then there was one more that was funny. This one's not naked, thankfully, but being the gayest cleaning company in America, we don't get this a lot, but sometimes people misread what that means. And we get people that are like thinking it's going to be like a sex forward cleaning service, which it is not in any way, shape, or form a sex forward cleaning service. We're just a regular cleaning service, but we're got a bunch of gays, lesbians, bisexual, trans people, definitely a lot of allies working here and as clients here, but no sex stuff. I had this client for years and this is back when clients, they would give him my cell phone number because I did everything from my phone. And he texted me and he was like, hey, Logan, I was just wondering if you were if you were still looking for hot young guys to clean. And I was like, hot young guys to clean? What the hell are you talking? I've never once said anything about having to be hot, young, or a guy to work at Dazzle. That's so what? So people really put their own things on it. Now, was this maybe an overshare? I don't know. I don't think so, actually. But was it more than you needed to hear? Maybe. But let me ask you a question. If you're in charge of coming up with brand new content about your residential cleaning company every week in the form of a podcast, don't you think we got to put some segments in? So I'm sorry if I'm a little off the ball, but we just want to it's try to give them a little interest. I'm not trying to turn into Jenny Jones or Jerry Springer here, but these are things that happened. And you know what? I'm telling you. And here's one thing I will tell you about me. You'll at least get I was going to say an open book. I don't know if I'm an open book, but I'll give it to you straight. That's for sure. I will tell you what is going on and I won't be prancing around the details typically. All right. So thank you for listening to the newest episode of the Dazzle Cleaning Company podcast. And if you like it, please like, rate, and review and share the episode. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Dazzle Podcast. Join us again for more dazzling info next week. Until then, have a fabulous gay-ass week.